Washington Capitals fans are streaming into the building to see Alex Ovechkin. There's a lot of Leaf fans in the house tonight because the Maple Leafs have been off on the road. They're coming home to the Air Canada Centre. Should be a good one. Greg Millen joins us tonight. I know you got a lot you want to cover off. We'll get to the Ovechkin. I'm going to go out on a limb rant.
It's going to be an old story, by the way, but we'll touch on it a bit.
But I want to get your take on the play of Martin Gerber. He's doing a good job, I'm sure you'd agree. But what do you think? Is he playing for a contract for next year here or a job elsewhere? What would you do with him?
I think he's relaxed. I can remember going down towards the end of the year to the minors and having to come back, and it happened to me. And basically your career is done. Like, you think you're over. So you work through a lot of things. You think about, okay, what am I going to do when I'm done? And all of a sudden you relax. The pressure's off you because now you're thinking, well, this is bonus time. And I really believe that's where Martin Gerber is right now mentally. He is sitting in here saying he's got absolutely nothing to lose. He's already been chased out of the National Hockey League. He's already had some real difficult times in Ottawa. He can now come here to Toronto, relax, play his game. And you know, it's a funny thing. When you play this sport, particularly in goal, two things you got to do. You got to have fun, and you got to be relaxed. And I can guarantee you in Ottawa, he wasn't having fun, and he wasn't relaxed. All of a sudden, he comes to Toronto now without very much pressure. He's doing both of those two things, having fun, he's relaxed, and guess what? He's a pretty good goalie, and he's stopping the puck.
And who would think you could go from Ottawa to Toronto and find relaxation and fun when it comes to playing in goal?
Well, Ottawa's been a tough spot for goaltenders over the years. So has Toronto at times. But, I mean, they're in a rebuild here. But it's not so much the market. It's what has happened to him personally the last month or so.
Well, Gerber's going to be in tough here tonight, and certainly not to take anything away from his debut in Washington 2 weeks ago. Alex Ovechkin will be in the lineup here tonight alongside a whole other group of first-round draft picks. And Mark Morrow, this is a very talented hockey team who may figure in on an Eastern Conference championship in a couple of months' time.
A young, very talented hockey team. And you look at the Semin, you look at Backstrom, Green on the point. They've got a lot of firepower, a lot of high draft picks that have panned out for this team. And the one thing they can do is score goals with the best of them. They might still have to work on their defensive game a little bit.
A little?
A little bit. I'm being polite to them right now. I'm going to give them kudos on the offense at this point. We'll get to the problems later. But there are the numbers right there. They have got firing power, and they can go out and score at will. They just have to make sure they score more goals at will than the other team to capitalize on playoff success moving forward.
But there's got to be a balance in terms of all his youth. There's got to be veteran savvy as well. And Greg, you look at Viktor Kozlov and Sergei Fedorov, 32 years combined in the NHL. As far as Sergei is concerned, Stanley Cups and 18 years in this league. What does he bring to the Washington Capitals?
Stability, versatility as well. I mean, you can play the fence as he's done. I think 6 games now this year. You can throw him at the blue line. You can throw him in a defensive role. So he's a pretty handy player, and he's been around some championships teams. And you always need those players moving forward into the playoffs. It was a great move by George McPhee to get him into this organization and into this fold. The problem they're going to have, quite frankly, they got one big roadblock, in my opinion. That's the New Jersey Devils, a well-oiled machine right now who all of a sudden can score, play well in their own end of the rink, and they have the best goalie in the world. So they've got some work to do yet, but a little bit of a run in the playoffs here will really help their cause to develop their youth.
Well, Kozlov is in his 14th season in the National Hockey League. He's helped 5 other teams get to the postseason during that span. I had a chance to talk with him this morning to ask about his role and Sergei's role as leaders on this team. He said it simply overrated, not necessary.
We are not getting to the next level. They already up there, so we just give them puck and try not to stand their way.
How important is it to be in the league as long as you have been to know how difficult it is? And I mean by getting to the next level, perhaps winning a round and getting to the next series.
Well, the guys is very mature, so we have a pretty good experience last year, and I think the guys understand how difficult to play in the playoffs.
Can you appreciate the amount of young talent you have on this team?
Yes, it is, and you know it keeps you on the toes as well. You know, you can relax.
Is this a dressing room though that needs older advice from some of you guys who've been in the league a long time?
What do you mean?
Just advice as to how to handle themselves, and maybe when things get tough, as they did on home ice, that hey, we've got to be better, or just take it one game at a time.
No, believe me, the guys is very mature. Old team, like they're young, but they're very mature. So basically, they win the championships in their countries and in the farm teams, and they know what it takes to win it.
There's no doubt there's a lot of talent on this team, and the guy that everybody's talking about.
Paul is long-winded. What do you mean?
What? He was a tough interview.
Oh, that's funny.
You got it.
I didn't know what he meant either. For
That's
crying
why
out
you're
loud.
the senior reporter. Indeed. Millen's Minute time, and I know we're going to the Alex Ovechkin controversy. Greg, you don't like the celebration.
Well, I think we need to put this on. This is an old story. Let's be honest now. This has been going on and on and on and on. A couple things as a player I can tell you, first of all. Did I like it when Mike Foligno used to jump up in the air when he scored and do that little hop? No, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to take my stick and put it somewhere where he wouldn't like it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I respect Mike Foligno. I thought he was a terrific hockey player. He never left anything on the table. But as a goalie, did I like that? No, I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. How about when the juniors now, when they go up and down the boards? And I see midget players do it as well. We got to high five everybody, then we got to go to the goalie, then we go back to center ice. It takes 10 minutes to celebrate after a goal. I just watched the midget OMHAs, they were all doing it. I mean, do I like that? No, I probably don't. But that's what is happening now in the National Hockey League. Fast forward to the lockout. I mean, I'm an old school guy. I prefer the approach from Marty Brodeur that everybody applauded him after he had such a beautiful record. His teammates applaud him, which is the most important thing. However, fast forward, we're in the quote-unquote new NHL. It's an area now where everybody's marketing. It's a marketing world. So as an old school player, I guess I got to change and accept the fact that this is the way it is. And if you talk to most fans, and all these sweaters in this building tonight coming to see Ovechkin, they're all excited to what he is going to see next. So for the marketing folks, they're starting to win over the hockey folks, guys, and I just got to accept that. Even though I can't and I don't like it, it's the way of the world in the year 2000. The only thing that really bothers me about this, more than anything else, more than the celebration, more than all the controversy, is the fact that we're forgetting one thing. This kid scored 50 goals again this year. This kid's a heck of a talent, and nobody in the hockey world's talking about the fact that he has nailed another 50-goal season once again in such a short period of time. And for me, that's a little bit too bad.
Millen's Minute. A softer take than I was expecting, I might
Seemed about
add.
2 minutes.
It seemed like about 3.5. Daryl Sittler stopping by. Oh, Leaf fans are gathering at HQ now. Yes, the Hall of Famer will tell you this story on Wendy Bear next.